Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video session on daily news and editorial analysis dated 1st of November. Through this video session, I'll be discussing the important news and editorial from the Hindu and Indian Express that will help all aspirants who are appearing for civil services examination, state PCS examination and many other government examination that will be appearing for. So the entire session is going to be fruitful. I expect all of you are putting your best possible efforts and preparing well for the civil services examination. The prelims examination for 2024 is actually scheduled for 26th of May, right? 2024. So it's not much time left with you. You need to practice a good number of questions. और practice करने के लिए we are there with you. We have come up with a test series program. This is an all India test series program named Nishchay, where we'll be providing 4900 plus questions with the high quality questions, 10 recorded discussion classes, and if you're not confident enough with the part of the courses, there is a money back if you're not satisfied, subject to certain conditions. So check out our website for further details. You'll also find the link in the description down below. Now let's get started with the news discussion one by one. So the first important news is Okura Agartala rail link that will be inaugurated today by the Prime Minister and his counterpart in Bangladesh. The second important news talks about the NMC that is coming up and planning to launch one nation, one registration platform for the doctors and even for the patients that can help them to get the further registration done. Third important news talks about the rail accident. The number is increasing compared to the last year. The second last news is about the core sector, which has witnessed the slip compared to the past 4-month performance. We'll see the detail to this. And we'll conclude the discussion with today's editorial, that is stocking the climate finance, something very important. Agar climate finance की बात करें, there's something lot talked about the climate finance in the COP27 as well. So we'll make the detailed discussion to this. Let's get started with a complete analysis of each news one by one. So the first news is Okura Agartala rail link. This is a much awaited rail link project that is virtually will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and his counterpart in Bangladesh, right? So this is something, a project which was long pending, and finally it will help benefit for both the country, इंडिया एंड बांग्लादेश, और वहाँ की रीजन में खास करके बहुत सारी ऐसे इंपॉर्टेंट सिग्निफिकेंट्स चीज़ें हैं जिसमें मदद मिलेगी. सो दिस रेल प्रोजेक्ट इज समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर बोथ कंट्री. Now the other details about the Okura Agartala rail link project. It's a cross-border rail link project that is today it will be inaugurated. This rail project was the first conceptualized in 2010. इसकी starting की गई थी 2010 में, and finally in 2023 we are making the final inauguration of this part. And that both countries have agreed to lay the track of Okura in Barampriya and the Nishinpur in Agartala. तो ये एक्चुअल में इसकी इंसेप्शन 2010 में हुई थी, जब वहाँ के प्राइम मिनिस्टर, बांग्लादेश के प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने इस कॉन्सेप्ट को एक्चुअली कंसेप्टलाइज किया था. द कॉन्सेप्ट एंड द कंस्ट्रक्शन वाज एक्चुअली फॉर 15.06 किलोमीटर, और जो न्यू रेल लाइन स्टार्ट हुई है 2018 में, उस समय ये प्रपोज की गई थी. ऑफ दिस 5 kilometer of the rail route fall within India and the remaining 10 kilometers fall within the Bangladesh. तो अगर टेरिटरी, अगर रेल लिंक की बात करें, डिस्टेंस की बात करें, तो मोस्टली देयर इन बांग्लादेश और इंडिया में से 5.05 किलोमीटर है. मेक श्योर you are aware of this basic facts which will be relevant for the mains also. And those of you who are having PSIR as an optional, उन बच्चों के लिए ये basic factual information काफ़ी ज़्यादा relevant है. Now, giving you the idea about the map, I mean, if you're drawing in mains examination, it will be helping you. 15 kilometer की total rail link project है. Okura, which is there in Dhaka, and Agartala, which is there in India. तो ये distance cover करेगी almost 15 kilometer की. Now, क्या significance है इस project की? First and foremost, अगर इंडिया की बात करें, इंडिया की gestures की बात करें, and India's efforts towards Bangladesh, this is a Act East policy. इंडिया के लिए ये Act East policy है, which is called as AEP. और अगरतला ओखरा rail wing will actually boost in promoting the tourism between two countries. ट्रेड के साथ साथ जो कल्चरल एक्सचेंज है वो भी प्रमोट की जाएगी इंडिया और बांग्लादेश के साथ. It will help to grow the small scale industries. अगर बात करें medium, small and medium enterprises, SMEs, which will be there, and micro, small and medium enterprises, no, MSME. So these will be also promoted. Apart from this, north eastern region India के जो है उसमें भी development काफी ज़्यादा prominent होगी. It will also help in export and import of the commodities between the two countries, और export outside the countries will also be faster. अगर बात करें बांग्लादेश की, so in terms of merchandise, right? अगर merchandise की बात करें, Bangladesh has been doing well. Apart from this, this project will strengthen the business relationship between two nations, which is creating a direct access from the landlocked northeast, that is Chittagong port in the neighborhood countries. Something very important and milestone और एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसीज के लिए क्लासिकल एग्जाम्पल है अगरतला नकुरा रेल लिंक प्रोजेक्ट. Now moving ahead with other news, that is One Nation One Registration Platform, National Medical Commission NMC, right, which is a recently formed body. इन्होंने कहा है that they will be coming up with One Nation One Registration Platform for the doctor across the country, ताकि जो patients हैं उनकी अगर अपॉइंटमेंट की बात की जाए वो अपॉइंटमेंट एक सिंगल प्लेटफॉर्म पे भी ले पाए. Now, what is the National Medical Register? This is the one thing that you also need to know. अगर NMR की बात करें, National Medical Register. So the National Medical Commission is establishing a register जो कि एक centralized database की तरह काम करेगी. This will be for the doctor. Database will be taken into consideration across the India. तो इसकी जो service होगी that will be for pan India, right? Now all doctor in the country will have a unique identification number. All the doctors will be provided with ID by the end of 2024 because the work has already started और हर एक डॉक्टर को एक यूनिक आईडी प्रोवाइड की जाएगी. The NMC will unveil the part of patches which is there for the National Medical Register from 6 months onwards. It will take due time और further completion के लिए NMC इस पे काम करेगी. The commission has also issued a gazette जो कि registration of medical practitioner and license regulation 2023 के नाम से issue की गई थी. And for this, undergraduate student of the will also be enrolled in the NMR ID. तो जो बच्चे MBBS courses में actual में enrolled होंगे उन बच्चों की भी registration यहीं की जाएगी. The ID will be utilized for updating any kind of additional qualification that will a doctor possess. और उसके अलावा this will be a biggest reform in the medical sector. I personally feel this is something that will help a lot more doctors and even the patients in the country. Now क्या रैशनल है गवर्नमेंट की इस इंटेंशन के पीछे? अगर बात करें वन नेशन वन रजिस्ट्रेशंस ऑफ डॉक्टर्स, दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द डॉक्टर्स. इट विल प्रोवाइड and eliminate the bureaucratic efficiencies, right? Bureaucratic efficiencies and pave the way for transparency. It also initiate an aim to eliminate the part of duplications that is ongoing. और public के लिए अगर बात करें normal citizen के लिए, it will have access to comprehensive information of all the physicians. India में जितने भी physicians, doctors हैं, right? So the information will be provided and it will be a significant step in ensuring the accountability in the healthcare sector. Now moving ahead, road accident in India by 2022. This has also increased. This is a detailed report by the Ministry of Road and Transport. इन्होंने बताया अपने report में. The title of the report is Road Accident in India 2022. And they said that India remained concerned in terms of fatality. 9% तक की growth दिखी गई है in 2022 reports. So what is the data on the accident? See, you need to know some data. ये data आप अपनी mains examinations में भी use कर पाएंगे and even for the interview purposes you can utilize this. Now road accident data की अगर बात करें, 32.9% जो accident है that took place in national highway. 32.9% that actually took place in national highway. उसके बाद अगर बात करें state highway की, the data is 23.1 in the state highways. और रिमेनिंग जो 43.9% है वो अदर रोड्स पे किए गए, राइट? एंड अ टोटल ऑफ फैटेलिटीज दैट वर रिपोर्टेड, 36% वेयर ऑन द नेशनल हाईवे, 24.3% ऑन द स्टेट हाईवे एंड रिमेनिंग 39% ऑन द रोड हाईवे. तो मैक्सिमम आप देख सकते हैं दिस इज देयर ऑन द नेशनल हाईवे जो फैटेलिटीज ज़्यादा रिपोर्ट की गई. उत्तर प्रदेश इज अ स्टेट, यूपी एक ऐसी स्टेट है जहाँ पे अभी भी this is on the first track in terms of total accident that is reported, which is with 13.4%. Those who will be appearing for state public service commission examination उनके लिए important है. उसके साथ साथ तमिलनाडु is 10.6%, महाराष्ट्र 9%, मध्य प्रदेश 8% एंड कर्नाटका 6.9%. These are the state data. आप जिस भी स्टेट से बिलोंग करते हैं आपको ये डेटा पता होना चाहिए. Now, what are the report? I mean, if you look at the previous data and the report which is there, so it finds that 2016 में कुछ नंबर ये थे, फिर decrease हुई, then again we have increasing, and 2020 में sudden decrease हुई because COVID-19 के बाद काफ़ी restrictions थी, जिस वजह से भी cases में नंबर कम रिपोर्ट किए, but now it is increasing. 37 death is reported per 100 crashes that is taking place in the country. Now, finding क्या है और report की, as many as I have already told you, due to accident and due to part of the death that is reported, making 9.4% with compared to 2021 data. 2022 में India has actually 2.7% increase. जो total fatality है उसमें 2.75% की increase witness की गई है. The fatalities has rose up by 11.5% in injuries from the accident that was there by 1.8%. तो आप देख सकते हो कितना ज़्यादा increase witness किया गया है. And the injuries on the account of road accident has also increased by 15.3%. The number here is 15.3% compared to the previous year data. Now, what is the need of that? First and foremost, if the rate is on the higher side, almost close to 10%. If you see the data, 10% तक increase witness की गई है, तो उसके लिए ज़रूरी है कि जो fatalities हैं उनको कम किया जाए. We need to, a perception need to be there. और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट में भी हमें काम करने की ज़रूरत है. एंड द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट व्हाट आई पर्सनली फील इज़ अवेयरनेस काफ़ी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. एंड द बिहेवियर चेंज, राइट, बिहेवियर चेंज among the individual that is required. So behavior change के बिना we cannot do anything. Behavior change that is required, and government is considering to include the measures which include the integrity pact with the dedicated cadre agencies like the National Highway Authority of India and NHIDCL. Now, government की intervention is mandatory. Ministry of Road and Transport ने actual में कहा है, Union Minister of part of Road and Transport has said that the government aims to reduce the number of road accident to 50%. 50% तक reductions की बात की है government ने. Let's see whether we are achieving this target or not. We should be hopeful that yes we can achieve. बट उसके साथ साथ ज़रूरी है कि गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग को बढ़ाए. जो ब्लैक स्पॉट्स हैं और खास करके एक्सीडेंटल प्रोन एरियाज हैं उन पे काम की जाए और लोगों को अवेयर किया जाए. अवेयरनेस, मास अवेयरनेस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट with a part of behavioral change. Behavioral change should be incorporated to a larger extent. Now, moving ahead with the core sector growth that has been reported, this is 4 months in the low that the current data that is reported according to the data that was released by the Ministry of Commerce. They have said कि पिछले 4 महीनों में ये पहली ऐसी कम ग्रोथ रिपोर्ट की गई है. एंड सितंबर वाज समथिंग 8.1%, लोवेस्ट इन द 4 months. नाउ इंडेक्स की अगर बात करें, फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट यू नीड टू नो व्हाट आर द कोर इंडेक्स. कई बार एग्जाम में डायरेक्ट आपसे सवाल पूछे जा सकते हैं. द कोर इंडेक्स कंप्राइजेज ऑफ कोल, रिफाइनरी प्रोडक्ट्स, नेचुरल गैसेस, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, सीमेंट, स्टील, फर्टिलाइजर एंड क्रूड ऑयल. तो ये 8 इंपॉर्टेंट हैं कोर इंडस्ट्रीज. ICI की ये 8 इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट्स हैं, आपको सारे कंपोनेंट्स याद होने चाहिए. नाउ what is the data on the core industries? Output की अगर बात करें, 8 core industries may have seen 8 month low, 8.1% cash plus 7. August it was 12.5%, right? So the growth is on the declining side. Now कुछ sectors अगर बात करें उसकी, coal, steel, electricity, that has been registered on year growth. Now crude oil has been backed on the contract with a part of 2 month sneak that is there in the all sectors. Now bearing fertilizers output has all sector vis-a-vis in the pace of the August. I'll give you the precise data कि किस सेक्टर में कितनी ग्रोथ रिपोर्ट की गई है, so that will help you. Now apart, before moving to that data, just another data that will help. आप देख सकते हैं 2023 जून की डेटा है. स्टील फॉर 21.9%, द हाईएस्ट अमंग देम. कोल 9.8, सीमेंट, रिफाइनरी, नेचुरल गैसेस, फर्टिलाइजर, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी और क्रूड ऑयल की डेटा. और जो लेटेस्ट इस बार की जो रिपोर्ट आई है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स की, वो डेटा के मुताबिक the cement has hit a low of 4.7%. Fertilizer rose up to 4.2. This is a rise. Now the coal productions grew up 16.1%. Electricity and steel has taken a toll of 9.6 and 9.3. This is the increase side. Natural gas has output with 6.5%. Refinery has increased by 5.5%. Now September में average 4.8 थी. August में 8 sectors was again logging with month-to-month dips in the total productions. Now, moving ahead with the editorial for the day, that is stock taking the climate finance, something very important. Climate finance की अगर बात करें, climate finance has been lot important talked about, right? और कई ऐसे मीटिंग्स हुए अगर बात करें COP27 की, जहाँ पे climate finance की भी बात की गई है, फंड भी बनाया गया. I'll tell you the detail of that as well. Now, first, what I'll be discussing in this editorial, the current temperature increase, estimated adequate climate finance, इंडिया की क्या कमिटमेंट है, ग्लोबल इन्वायरमेंट फैसिलिटी की बात करेंगे एंड द वे फॉरवर्ड. सो फर्स्ट स्टार्टिंग विद द बैकग्राउंड, अगर क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस की बात करें विच वाज अगेन द सेंटर एंड फोकल पॉइंट ऑफ द COP27, जिसमें क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस फंड भी बनाई गई. आई टेल यू द डिटेल. एंड उसके साथ साथ जो फ्यूचर क्लाइमेट चेंज नेगोशिएशन है उस पर भी बात हुई. कंसर्न रिलेटेड है क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस की कि किस तरह से जो अपकमिंग कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज है, आई एम प्रिसाइजली टॉकिंग अबाउट द COP28 विच इज़ देयर एट UAE. दुबई में होनी है ये November 30th till December 12th. It need to find out a roadmap for the climate finance. Now, discussion has been introduced on the climate finance synthesis report, जो कि एक crucial और scientific information है regarding the global stage as COP. Now, to give you better understanding about the commitment that at the global level we are having, so at this stage, you need to know about the COP27 action plan. 5.5 move beyond the pledges की बात की गई है, 100 billion directions towards the climate commitment, and this is something which I was talking about the global climate finance GFC. नेट जीरो एमिशन सारे कंट्रीज ने 2050 के लिए जो डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज हैं 45% रिडक्शंस की बात की है. इंडिया स्पेसिफिकली अगर इंडिया के कंटेक्स्ट में बात करें, इंडिया हैज सेट 2070 व्हेन विल बी अचीविंग द नेट जीरो एमिशंस. नाउ करंट टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज हैज बीन देयर. एक रिपोर्ट पब्लिश की गई है, दैट इज अ क्लाइमेट चेंज 2023 सिंथेसिस रिपोर्ट. It says that the increase of 1.1 degrees Celsius has been reported frequently because of hazardous weathers in the global stock stake. Now, this developed country, जितने भी developed countries हैं, climate vulnerable nations हैं, that need to take the mitigation efforts, right? India ने अपने already पंचामृत के initiatives बताए हैं. I'll give you the detail about the पंचामृत in a while. Now, in response to that, the developing countries may demand actions from the developed countries to put the failure and meet the 100 billion climate finance mobilizations target. पेरिस क्लाइमेट एग्रीमेंट में भी फाइनेंस की बात की गई थी और रिसेंट में COP27 में एक्चुअल में क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस फंड बनाए गए हैं. क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस फंड दैट वाज एक्चुअली बिल्ट. Now, estimating the part of adequate climate finance, Article 9 of Paris Climate Change में ये बातें कही गई हैं, and the obligation has been made to ensure that the developing countries are making their contributions. A substantial contribution is made by them. Now, NDC हर एक कंट्रीज के लिए एक नेशनल डिटरमिन्ड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है, जैसे INDC भी कहते हैं, इंटेंडेड नेशनल डिटरमिन्ड कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस, ताकि वो ओवरशूट करे 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस ऑफ ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर. कोपेनहेगन चेंज कॉन्फ्रेंस 2009 में भी इसकी बात की गई थी, जहाँ पे 100 बिलियन पर ईयर की कमिटमेंट की गई थी. ना पेरिस क्लाइमेट एग्रीमेंट, डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज मस्ट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट 100 बिलियन बाय 2025. आई थिंक वी आर मिसिंग ऑन द टारगेट. And the collective quantified goals, जो है national new quantified goals, to be established by 2024, stating a minimum of $100 billion per year. These are some of the important financial target, actual fund इकट्ठे करने की बात की गई है, so that we can actually work towards the climate sustainability. Now, India has categorically come up with the climate commitment. क्या क्या commitment है? The first commitment is net zero emissions by 2070. Reducing the total projected emissions by 2030 to this is by 1 billion ton. Increasing renewable energy component to 50% by 2030. Reducing the carbon intensity 45% by 2030. Increasing the non-fossil energy 500 gigawatt by 2030. ये इंडिया ने एक्चुअली कमिट किया था ड्यूरिंग द पार्ट ऑफ पंचामृत, और ये कमिटमेंट को इंडिया अचीव करने के लिए वी आर डूइंग द बेस्ट पॉसिबल एफर्ट. Now, global environment facility भी बनाई गई. This was actually started in 1992. आज summit में इसकी pitch की गई थी. And this has called for 100 billion for the developing nations. And even the low emissions और इसके path की तरफ आगे बढ़ने के लिए जो actual commitment है, उसे भी achieve करनी है सारे developing countries को, right? All developing countries to do that. Now, the global environment facility is a voluntary contribution. This is a point to be noted. It's a voluntary contributions for the 9 developing countries, including India, right? And the contribution for the GFC is a purpose where countries has been missing on the part of subject debate and count for the international public climate फाइनेंस। तो ग्लोबल इन्वायरमेंट फैसिलिटी के साथ साथ अभी जो रिसेंट में ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट फंड बनाई गई है वो भी एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है। Now, the way forward, first and foremost, the developed country must show their determinations कि किस तरह से जो 2009 और 10 के कमिटमेंट्स थे, खास करके क्लाइमेट फाइनेंस को लेकर के, क्लाइमेट चेंज को लेकर के, वी नीड टू वर्क ऑन दैट और एक ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम स्टैब्लिश करने की जरूरत है। Now, in 2019, the Global North has displayed the strong political urgencies to come up with the global climate financial crisis, swift providing of 1.1 trillion to stabilize the financial system. But again, we need to have a proactive role. एक proactiveness की ज़रूरत है so that all countries can come and put their best possible efforts. However, similar agencies is supported in lacking the climate finance transfer ताकि countries उसमें help करें and climate change need to be protected with a part of atmosphere जहाँ पे sustainable environment will only be promoted once we have an adequate finance और हर एक member countries को जो कि participatory हैं उनको contribute करना as a mandate करना चाहिए ताकि climate finance के जो total corpus fund है उसमें किसी तरह से भी corpus कम ना हो। Now answers and discussions to yesterday questions जो कल के सवाल थे उसके correct options और discussions। For first, the correct option is D. So lunar eclipse के बारे में आपसे पूछी गई थी. The statement 1 is correct and statement 3 is non-correct. Now, during the partial eclipse, the moon appears darkened, and during the total eclipse, sometimes red color. Statement 2 is also not correct. The second question, the correct option is C. इसके दोनों statement correct हैं. According to the report, Punjab are considered to be overexploited in terms of the groundwater availability. Agriculture identifications की बात करें, new technology policies are making to the part of accelerated leading in the aquifer depletions, and India is the world largest user of groundwater, exceeding the use of United States, China, which is statement 1 is correct. तो आपने क्या करेक्ट आंसर मार्क किया है चेक करें और कमेंट करके हमें करेक्ट आंसर यही बताया करें सो दैट इट इज़ हेल्पफुल फॉर यू एंड इवन फॉर द रिविजन पर्पसेस इट विल हेल्प यू अलॉट। आगे बढ़ते हैं और आज के जो MCQ सवाल है उसे देखते हैं। सो द MCQ क्वेश्चन फॉर द डे। The first question is about the avian influenza. Influenza is often referred as blood flu, highly contagious, which is primarily affecting the birds, particularly wild birds and domestic poultry. Detect and Cull policy is outlined in the National Action Plan for the Preventive Control and Contaminations, which is highly pathogenic in influenza flu. India has been witnessing an outbreak in the highly pathogenic influenza flu A5, H5N1 and H5N8. तो आपको क्या करना है, आपको करेक्ट ऑप्शन लिखने हैं फर्स्ट कमेंट सेक्शन में और करेक्ट आंसर जो भी आपको लगे A, B, C या फिर D, you can accordingly participate and write your answer in the comment section down below. Now the second question about the thallium, एक पूरी detailed report publish की गई थी द हिंदू में. If you have read it is well enough, you will be easily able to answer. अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ा है तो अभी आप देख लें. Thallium is a non-metal with no taste or color. Thallium is used for restricted due to toxicity. तो बताएं कौन सा करेक्ट ऑप्शन है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 लिखना है आपको, A, B, C या फिर D. इसके आंसर्स आप हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताएं. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, queries about test series, programs, admissions and any other queries, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best for the upcoming prelims examination. Keep your work at the best pace and keep rocking. Thank you so much.